Okay. Oh no, baby. Oh my. Oh no, baby. This is not even the tip of the ice. This is the air above the tip of the iceberg. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? It is a new week and we have made it here safe and sound. Let's applause for ourselves. Yay! So much is happening in life. It is a time of revolution. It is a time to stand strong, stand 10 toes down on business, and make sure you are on the right side of history, okay? Because there's so much happening. We are going to be in the history books this time, this moment right now. What are you doing to make your stance? What are you doing? You don't have to be a whole activist. You don't have to be a whole revolutionary warrior, however you would say the term. How are you helping your people? How are you helping your community? Or are you a part of the problem? Welcome back to another episode of Present Not Perfect. I am your host, Mimi Jeanite. And today we got a conversation that I feel, I've kind of touched on these previous episodes that I've made, but because I have gone through something, it may be something that I actually expound on further, even past this episode, just to bring it in, because I feel like as I started this, I've come into situations that have helped me understand more about what I'm talking about. Like, I'm personally going through things in my life that are making me more aware about what it is that I'm speaking on, to bring me into better balance, to come and give it to you guys. The only thing that I'm doing my best in is actually being able to articulate it in the best way for you guys to be able to digest it, because of the fact that, the more you learn about something, the more you realize that you don't know anything about it. So if I want to speak truth, if I want to be able to give light and just shed light on certain topics, I need to be able to know that, okay, I know it in the most profound way in order for me to be able to at least give it to you guys in a way that it will be educational or informational or something of benefit to you. So as I grow, this will as well. I did make that note when I first started the series, and now that it's just becoming more of a thing, I'm standing on that. So I'm thanking you guys for being patient with me and how I am able to divulge the information that is coming to me, and even through my experiences, making it something that you guys can go ahead and learn from my mistakes or my wins. Let's get into it. I don't know if you guys remember or have even watched the movie Scarface. Say hello to my little friend! There is a scene in Scarface where he literally goes off on the dude that he came into America with. He felt like that dude was doing something against him. Although it was just, he loved his sister. He decided, you know what, you're doing something, I can't trust you, I'm gonna pew you. So he ended up his friend. After he pew him, his sister was like, I loved him. I really loved him. He realized that he made a mistake in shooting his friend. He realized that that wasn't the best move that he could have made. He was moving impulsively. He was just moving off of the thoughts that he had in his mind of whatever he was going through, that he felt like, I can't trust anybody. And he made an impulsive move, and a move that really didn't work out for him in the end. There's a lot of people in life that move in that fashion still to this day. It's just hard for them to trust people. It's just hard for them because of their own experience. They've put trust in people and they've been proven wrong, or whatever the case may be. So they tend to lean more into the side of, I can't trust anybody. Although they can try, but then that little voice in their head is always going to make them feel like, okay, there's still something I can't trust here. So stay on guard. We are powerful beings. We literally can think of something and create that something. The conscious mind, the waking mind, is only 5% of what we actually experience. The subconscious mind is 95% of that. Say you're interacting with somebody and they do something that you don't like. Subconsciously, you're already on guard with that person because of something you've already gone through. So now they give you that feeling. They give you a feeling of unease. Your subconscious is going to take that person and it's going to embed into your subconscious as danger. We really have to take into consideration how deep something can be buried within us if we're not aware of it, because it is in our subconscious, and we go ahead and have an interaction with somebody. Most times that subconscious is going to lead you. So you're not even going to be aware of how you're interacting if you're not aware of what it is that you're actually feeling. So just to expound on that, if you've been hurt by someone that you once trusted, you subconsciously have a tendency to distrust people in general. In your conscious mind, you will do your best to just trust them because you want to give them a blank slate sometimes. This is for the people that actually do want to give people a blank slate. Sometimes people just go off of, you know what, I don't trust people and I don't trust people. But if you're a person that would rather give a person a benefit of the doubt, you will do so with limitations, which is actually a healthy thing, I would say, just because of the fact that you don't want to just blindly trust people because the world is a crazy place. So you need to be able to have a sense of protection and not be naive about certain things. So if you are that person where it's like, okay, yeah, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt to a certain degree, there may be something that could manifest within you outside of yourself to test if you are actually okay with what you're receiving. And oftentimes, if the person that you're giving the benefit of the doubt to can speak for themselves and you go based off of solely what they're doing, and you can gauge and assess and read them for who they are without any other influence, and you can say, okay, yes, you are a trustworthy person, I'm gonna trust you. Or no, I really can't trust you. You've done this, and this, based solely on what they've done to you. Go with that. If you're somebody that does not trust somebody, you cannot trust yourself either. Literally, if you trust yourself, you will trust yourself to be in the presence of others that you can trust. But if you don't trust yourself, you will always find yourself in the presence of somebody you cannot trust because you didn't trust yourself enough to go ahead and pick the right person to trust. Although we are not in control of who is trustworthy or not, you still have to trust yourself enough to put yourself in the presence of somebody you feel is trustworthy. Otherwise, you're always going to fall in line with people that you can't trust. That's that on that. Receive that, let it go if you don't like it. If you're someone that gives that benefit of the doubt, but you also take into consideration other people's storyline about a certain person, you kind of fall into shaky waters there because of the fact that everybody else's experience with someone isn't going to be the same experience that you have with someone. So you always have to take heed possibly to what someone is saying, but your experience with the person should supersede anything that someone else is saying. It kind of falls in line with the storyline where you have a couple and the dude or the chick is rumored to be cheating on the other, but if the person is aware that their person isn't a cheater, then they kind of start getting this feeling like this is very questionable, you know? And things kind of get soggy after that point because then there's something planted subconsciously. So if you find yourself giving the benefit of the doubt, getting influenced by someone outside of the two-party involvement, then you allow more of a situation to manifest in your life. To go back to the example, you have somebody that is telling you your person is cheating. You subconsciously plant that within you now. So every little thing that they do, you start kind of checking it, and eventually you're going to either feel like something they do that is so minimal, it just makes you feel like what was heard or what was said validates what it is. Not even being aware that you are literally creating this environment that will make this a reality because you are starting to believe the plant. When you plant something, a seed doesn't always have to sprout. A seed can sometimes die because it's not a fruitful seed. But if you water that seed, if you give it life, it's gonna sprout, it's gonna grow into something. So if you were to be the one to give the person the benefit of the doubt and you trust that that person isn't cheating on you or whatever the situation is as far as you being influenced by other people and what they're telling you, If you know for a fact this person is not that seed is going to die. That seed has nothing to water it. That seed cannot receive any nutrients from whatever it is that you're allowing to be believed within yourself. So it's going to go away. It's going to wither and die. But if you give it life, you're going to receive that. Imagine someone is not actually cheating on you and you allow that to die. And you realize, wow, this person really didn't cheat. Like, they didn't cheat on me, because you see the proof. There's no way that they would be able to cheat on you. Or you actually receive confirmation. You receive it with your own two eyes. You see it with your own two eyes, or you hear it yourself. You find it upon yourself that that person is actually doing that. Then boom, that's when you go ahead and take it in, because it's the experience that you had with the specific person. But it's not because you're taking it from somebody and you're kind of like always trying to stay on guard for what you might see, what might be able to connect with that lie or that rumor or whatever influence it was. A lot of people go through this and they find themselves in a battle within themselves, because they're looking at the person that they've actually had an experience with, and it's not coupling with the experiences that they've had with them. But then they're also being told a whole bunch of other stories, and it could possibly be something where it's like, okay, I could be wrong in this situation. I don't want to be wrong. Let me stay vigilant. And that's completely understandable. I feel like the problem that happens is when someone gets into that and they also have done wrong to the person. So they feel like the person could also do wrong to them. If you are someone like that, if you have wronged the person that you are now receiving some type of information about, that they've wronged you in some sense, and now that is seeming like some type of validation for you to go ahead and not trust them or not believe that they are who you believe they were to be, that's because you were also feeding into your own neglect of the situation. You got to be real with yourself before you can expect anybody to be real with you. If you are faulting somebody and somebody comes and influences you with a rumor or some type of Yelp review about somebody that you're interacting with, and you're battling yourself because the person that you've interacted with has not given you anything to question until this point because of a rumor that you're influenced by, and you were also doing wrong by them, you're going to believe that they were playing a game. They've been playing you this whole time because you were playing them. Let's make it make sense. If the person hasn't been doing anything, you haven't been doing anything, nothing is going to break that, because then you'll always be able to test the relationship, whatever it is, whatever the relationship is. Relationships is so generalized. I'm speaking in general term. Whenever you're in interaction with someone, it's a relationship in my eyes. You got something going on. You know, unless you're literally an acquaintance or you don't know me. That's what I mean when I speak on relationships. But if you both are to test the relationship just to make sure, okay, I heard this spoken about you, or this is what people have been telling me is going on. What is this? Can we get to the bottom of this? And the bottom is got, and you still keep watering the seed. You just don't want to trust that person. So just either let that person go, be themselves and have their peace, or find out why you are being so distrustful right now. Find out why it is that you are having a hard time actually trusting the person that you've already tested, that you've allowed this time to kind of gauge who they are for you, and you still feel like there's something within you that is not allowing you to fully trust. That has nothing to do with them at that point. It's everything to do with you and everything that you've been dealing with. I understand a lot more about people and what they believe that they know, and I'm very aware of what's around me, and I choose to give peace to those that interact with me. And if you can't receive that, then it's not meant for you. But that is what I do my due diligence in embodying, because there's already so much trauma within the world that the trauma that I intake, I had to digest it and transmute it and alchemize it and make it something that can grow a better seed within me in order for me not to become the people that I don't want to become. It's an ongoing process. There's always going to be something or someone that comes into your life to try to kind of confuse the function, but you are allowed to make mistakes and you are allowed to learn from your mistakes. And that is what I choose for myself. So that's why it gives me that, okay, I don't want to be like Scarface. I don't want to sit here like thinking anybody that comes into my life now, I won't be able to trust. just because of one person that did something to me. Although it's been more than one person, I'm going to choose my battles. I'm going to make it something that works better for me so that I don't have to stay in a state of confusion within myself. If I die slowly because I'm the one killing myself, who else am I going to have to blame but myself? You don't have to fight with violence. You don't have to strategize away and manipulate the situation to work out in your favor, because it's already handled for you. You just got to keep your integrity and your honesty in line. Like, you just got to keep it there. Allow yourself to just fuel more of what it is that you actually want. Fuel more of what it is that you actually want to believe, because then as you believe it, it becomes more of your reality. If you choose to go ahead and look at life as, I can trust people who I have in it, I can trust and fully believe that they're doing right by me. Everybody in my life right now, I am able to go ahead and facilitate some type of peace within it. If I'm not able to see the peace within it, then I can go ahead and address the dysfunction and come to a conclusion that works best for everybody involved, or I will have the strength to remove myself. And that's really all it is. Don't allow yourself to become more of what it is that you don't like. There's so many people that are just stuck in that position because it just seems so comfortable. It's not even comfortable, really. It's uncomfortable for them, but because they've done it for so long, it's just the easiest thing to fall into, even if they try to get themselves out. Like, I've been in this position and I have also checked myself to come out of it. And it works best, in my opinion, when you have people that are unconditional with you. You have people that are literally going to stick by you and do it with you. And that is hard to come by. But when you do find those people, keep them close, because that's the treasure of life right there. That is the most amazing thing to be able to have, to be able to make a mistake, grow with someone and learn from your mistake, and then still actually wanting to be in your life. Sometimes it doesn't always continue with that person because of the fact that maybe the trauma that was inflicted is too much now. Maybe they just need their time away from you at this point. Maybe they'll come back later on in life when you've made your changes and you've learned from your lessons and they're able to digest you from there. But to have those unconditional people that will stick with you from it all, without the trauma really truly being so great that it's just something they feel like they need to remove themselves from your life for, then you're good. Those are pivotal. But then also, don't push someone so hard just to test the waters, unless it's actually you being genuine in that. Be real. Like, be authentic with what it is that you're feeling, but also check yourself that you're not making somebody feel some type of way just because you want to lash out. That's not cool. Be considerate of others' feelings, because just because you're feeling something doesn't mean that you get to go ahead and just spew that all on somebody and vomit it and expect them to smell it and lick it. And no, that's not cool. I feel like I'm gonna get like really deep into these next few videos, just because of the fact that this has been something affecting me. And I feel like I've been charged with this to be able to go ahead and go through it, transmute it the way I've been transmuting it, because it's not like it's not been hurting me. This has been something that is just like, wow. Like, every turn that happens, it's like, damn, for real? Shit. But for me to go through it and handle it the way that I've been handling it, and to be able to come on the other side and still see a day sunny as it is and still feel grateful to be a part of it, and then to give the information to someone else to be able to help them through, whoever, even if it is just one person. Like, we need to keep this something that we at least work on for ourselves and help others with. And if you have any type of story where it is that you've been really bamboozled by somebody and you just allowed yourself not to let that seed plant within yourself and influence you into just changing who you are, I want to hear that story. I want to hear how we can overcome, and that is the goal, essentially, becoming better individuals, sitting on higher frequencies, constantly elevating, allowing for the things that are coming in to hurt us to elevate us. There's a story of a donkey that fell into a well, and I know I'm gonna butcher this because I only heard it once, but it did stick with me in a sense. This man had a donkey and the donkey fell into the well while the guy was trying to retrieve some water from the well or something like that, right? So eventually, once the donkey fell in, the guy's mourning his donkey, and he's also like, you know what, we might as well cover up the well because the donkey is going to fester the water. It's going to be contaminated. So he brought all of the townspeople to come in and help him fill up the well. So as the townspeople are throwing the rocks and stuff into the well, the donkey is like sad for a moment. He's like grieving, like, dang, these people are like throwing rocks. And of course, you know, down a well, the rock is falling on you, you're gonna be bruised up a little bit. And after a while, a couple rocks are beneath him and he kind of like steps on it. And he's like, you know what? Let me go ahead. As they continue to throw these, I'll go ahead and keep climbing. And, you know, although with them continuing to throw it down, it's going to bruise me, I will continue. I will continue elevating. I will continue elevating until I can get out of here. So as they continue throwing it down, he's still getting hit. He's still getting hit, bruised, and he continues to just climb up until the point where he's able to come out. And essentially, that is what's going on with us. We're not doing anything to harm anybody, but as the stones come, as we get bruised, we understand this is our way to elevation. We can go ahead and take the pain. We can literally transmute it, make it something that works for us, and step up, level it up every time. We're not gonna hold a rock in our mouths and throw it at the people that were throwing it at us, because we're better than that. Not to be boastful, not to be like cocky, but just to understand that if I didn't like it from you, why would I give it to you? Yeah, I'm really confident that we are in the right trajectory. Like we're doing our thing with this one. We're doing our big one. And if we are on the same frequency right now where we are having to handle a lot of things coming our way, this is not even the tip of the this is the air above the tip of the iceberg. If this is where we are and we know there's so much more to be able to help us grow, and the success is literally within it all, and we are able to see it. I can just imagine how far we're able to really go. Like I'm really excited to see how well of a community we'll be able to be involved in. The same way they have these communities with everybody else that is dark and, you know, that will quickly turn on you. We can have those communities that will stick together and that will work together for the good of ourselves because we love ourselves, and for each other because we love ourselves. So we would do the same for someone else. It's a different vibe. It's a different feeling when you are aware of the transaction and the cycle and the unity of people being authentically themselves and learning from their mistakes and becoming better people. It changes a lot. So I appreciate you guys, and I am looking forward to our next chat. This has been another episode of Present Not Perfect. I am your host, Mimi Jeanite. Yes. And I love you guys. Till next time. I'm gonna see you. Bye.